Call the board meeting for Tuesday, May 17th to order. Please stand for the pledge. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First on the agenda is the approval of the agenda.
Move to approve the agenda of May 17, 2016 regular meeting as presented.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next is the approval of the consent agenda items.
Move to approve the consent agenda items as presented.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, next we have public participation.
Mr. Singer, I just wanted to share one thing during public participation. I have a slightly unique perspective of the district, being on the board and a parent and several other things, but this year helped to run project graduation, and while there'll be a few thank yous in the Herald to come out in the next week or two, I just wanted to thank the district and some of the entities here who have helped tremendously, the district office itself, administrators, and the assistants up there who answered some questions for me about insurance and finance and invoices. The high school administration, who Mr. Haney probably is tired of seeing my name in his inbox lately, but has answered a multitude of questions along with the secretaries there. The tech department, who handled a lot of pictures and videos for us this year. The cooks and the cook supervisor who helped with ordering food. The maintenance staff who were there for early morning donut deliveries and clean up. The athletic staff who helped donate some tickets to some things for us on the early stages. The all sports boosters who allowed us to do 50-50s and use the concession stand. The teachers, staff, and sponsors, because pretty sure our fundraising mixed in with all the other fundraising was maybe a little bit annoying. I don't know, but thank you anyway. And then the PAC and Miss Otto for the use of the facility for our concert. I'm sure I'm missing someone, but I just wanted to hit that because while the ad will be in the Herald in a few weeks, it really doesn't do justice to all that we all know that how well this district works together. So thank you all very much.
Thank you, guys. And thanks, Dave, for saying that. Okay, with that, we'll move on to the report of the superintendent, Dr. Lindsay.
I think just one thing to add to that, project graduation is such an important thing for our kids. And the district really appreciates, the effort that goes into putting all of that together. And I know that it's a lot, not only this year, but in past years and hopefully for years to come. So we appreciate that. There are some notes of appreciation in your board packet. One that I did want to point out was from Herman Beckley, Hall of Fame member 2012 and a member of the 1947 basketball team that advanced in state play. We had exchanged a couple letters, and I'd sent him a picture of the most recent district champions, and so he wrote a nice letter, so I just wanted to point that out. Bond issue projects update. The ball fields are nearing completion. There's still a few things we need to get done out there. On the main campus, we're gearing up, and at Bloomsdale, for the work that will be done this summer. We have a pre-construction meeting on Monday here on the main campus for some of that work, to do a walkthrough with the contractor and the architect, and see if there's any last minute things that we need to clear up or do in preparation for them showing up and beginning work just as soon as school is out. We also have learned that there's a possible delay on at least part of the window project that's being done. You may recall we're replacing windows really in all four schools, all four buildings, and the manufacturer has some of the windows that we need on backboard, and so we're working with with the contractor and trying to put as much pressure as we can on the manufacturer of the windows to try to meet their deadlines with deliveries. So we have a contingency plan in place, but really at this point, we don't think it's going to affect either elementary, but probably the biggest impact may be in the middle school. And so we're trying to work through that and make the best of what might be a bad situation. And we'll just, if the windows aren't here, they can't be put in. So we'll do the best that we can on that. I think Dr. Mercer, and it is Dr. Mercer now, has some information on graduation and project graduation, if you want to.
Yes, sir. Specifically project graduation right now, and then I have graduation comments in the building report, which will be coming up in just a few minutes. But for project graduation, I just want to reiterate what Mr. Bova said and what Dr. Lindsay said, and just really express some sincere appreciation for everything that the community has done to support that effort and everything that the parents have done to lead that effort. It's a huge undertaking, but one that is very important, and I don't think it's too much of a stretch to say that it's become a tradition around here. So we're very, very thankful for those who are willing to work in keeping that tradition alive and providing our kids with a safe place. For details on that, it's quite simple. Shortly after graduation, after the kids have had a chance to see their family that's come to get pictures with them and they've had a chance to visit for a little while outside, we'll give them an opportunity to change clothes and then load the buses, and we'll head to the Farmington Civic Center. Spend the whole night there, come back the next morning ragged and weary, but hopefully the seniors with a few more dollars in your pockets, right? And they appreciate that always. And again, just very, very sincere appreciation to all of you that worked on it, and that is on behalf of Mr. Haney as well. And then, as I said, I've got graduation comments coming forward in the principal's report.
Let's go ahead and go into the principal reports, and I think Dr. Mercer will be last. So which one of you would like to go first?
We've been extremely busy at Bloomsdale Elementary, and I probably forgot some things, but I'm going to hit the highlights. Teacher of the Month was Miss Meyer. She was nominated for being so friendly and great with the students. She always has a smile for her students. Miss Debbie Carroll was nominated as the Staff of the Month. She always has a smile for the students and works really hard. She helps the teachers with whatever they need and the students, and she has an amazing personality with students. They were always excited to see her. On April 19th, first grade went to Missouri Botanical Gardens and enjoyed a picnic at Tower Grove Park. On Wednesday, April 20th, we had preschool parent-teacher conferences with 100% participation. April 22nd, we had Big Smiles program. The dental program came in. They helped 15 students. The services included 31 sealants, 52 x-rays, and 7 fillings. And that program has been awesome because it has cut down on the tooth problems at the nurse's office, and students that don't normally get to see the dentist, they come in and see them. It's been an awesome program. We had a fire drill at 8:05 on April 22nd, and everyone was clear of the building in 50.79 seconds. And we used the actual real fire alarm so they would know what it sounds like in the future. April 23rd, we had our PTO Spring Carnival. They had games in the gym, food in the cafeteria. We had bounce houses, Kona Ice came, and we had a silent auction. A great time was had by all, and we appreciate all the parents' help with this. They built new games that we get to keep for years to come. They helped with stations, and they donated many items for the auction. And of course, we had MRI trainings the 26th, 27th, 28th, and 29th, and we had RTI meetings. We had, on April 28th, our first Leader in Me Family Fun Night, which was exciting because the families got to move from station to station, and they got to learn about the 7 habits, and they got to do a project with the kids in those stations. And many families left complimenting, and they said that was the best family fun night yet. And I think it was because they got to work with the student and focus on their child about being a leader for their family. So that was an awesome night. We had 152 people there with 44 families. We had a 5th grade mixer on April 29th with the 5th grade students at St. John Elementary. They went into the community center and It's a great day for them to get to know each other and be ready for sixth grade together. And then we did Hall of Fame and cafeteria leaders and birthdays and AR wall. And we had kindergarten students reading habits for Leader and Me this month, so that was pretty cute. May 2nd, second graders went to Magic House and fourth graders went to the Arch in St. Louis Courthouse. The 2nd through the 6th was the art show that was on display, and the art projects were amazing, and several families got to come in and vote on them. It's so nice to see the projects just getting bigger and bigger as Ms. Guilford grows as a teacher, and it's awesome to see that. We had the book fair May 2nd through the 6th. We had teacher appreciation. We had probably all gained 10 pounds. We had treats every day of the week. Dr. Lindsay and Dr. Fleet provided some treats. We had PTO provide treats, and MSTA and NEA. So we had goodies all week. May 3rd, 4th and 5th grade had their spring music concert with guitars, and we had xylophones and triangles and box drums, and it was just amazing. And the recorders. It was amazing to see the kids switch from instruments to instrument, and it's, again, to see Mr. Kingery growing as a teacher has been pretty awesome, and he is building our music program, so that's amazing. May 4th, we had preschool registration. We screened 15 students with 13 coming to our program next year, and hopefully we'll get some more between now and the beginning of next year. May 5th, we had Character Kids Trip to Critter Lane. This is each quarter, each teacher picks 2 students that have displayed leadership habits, and those 2 kids get to go on the field trip at the end of the year. May 5th, we had writing awards. There was 2 winners per class, and it was, it's awesome to see how they start out. We included preschool this year, and they just wrote like 1 word, but it was so cute how it went from 1 word to 5 pages in 5th grade. May 6th, we had Kindergarten Buddy Day. We had a lot of the new incoming kindergartens show up, and our kindergarten class this year was excited to be their big buddies. They showed them around, and the teacher said that the maturity and behavior was awesome, so they know that next year is going to be amazing. May 9th, the first ever preschool graduation. It was cute. They performed some songs, and they had their little graduation hats, and they got their certificates. It was really cute. If you didn't get to see it, I would recommend coming next year. May 9th, 4th grade went to the historic houses downtown. May 10th, we had an instrument trial night for 5th grade students that are getting ready to go to 6th grade. They got to come in and try different instruments to see what they want to play in 6th grade. May 11th, 3rd grade went to City Museum. May 12th, we had AR store, which is where the kids get to use their points that they earn throughout the year in AR to buy little prizes. They were excited about that. May 13th, we had kindergarten going to Grants Farm, and we had 3rd and 4th grade going to Citizens Electric for a tour of the facilities and an educational program. They really enjoyed that. They got pizza and snacks too. So that was good sales month. Thank you.
Thank you.
That was good.
Well, good evening, everybody. I want to begin first of all by thanking the board and Dr. Lindsay and Dr. Fleeg and Dr. Green on behalf of Mrs. Gegg and I, because as we draw our first year to a close as new administrators, I think we both agree that you guys have been there for us all year long and supported us as we began our first year together, and we just can hardly believe it's already over. So thank you. For us, it's been a good year, and we hope it's been a good year for us as well. All right, so with that in hand, we had a lot of student and teacher recognition in our building as well. Mrs. Mary Ellen Ladd was our St. Genevieve Elementary Teacher of the Year, and she did email out her full thing for all of us since Dr. Lindsay gave us the abridged version. So we all got pretty tickled when we read the 2.5 pages yesterday. So she's doing an awesome job, and also, as you know, retiring. So Skip Weiler also received a big honor from the American Heart Association for raising $44,892 and saving 892 lives. I think I have those stats right, so that's amazing. So we're very proud of Skip as well as he heads off to retirement. Mrs. Beckerman was picked as our May Feature Teacher of the Month. Julie Beckerman is a superstar teacher. She's quiet, sweet, steady, and caring. Every time anyone passes by her door at the end of the day during those last crazy 5 minutes or so, she always has her students calmly gathered around her, reading or talking. She is what any parent could possibly want in a high-quality teacher. Way to go, Julie. And that's true. I pass that room every day on my way to the bridge, and she's always, it's just like this nomination said, it's lovely. And our May super staff is Jill Weiler, super calm, super steady, and caring. 3 qualities it takes to be an over-the-top paraprofessional. She always shows her students love. Way to go, Jill. So those were our May feature teacher and super staff. Like Mrs., I'll kind of buzz through the things we share in common because so often our things are similar, but we too had Teacher Appreciation Week. We had lots of eating and silliness. We had a spirit day every day, and PJs one day, favorite sports team one day, favorite vacation, St. Jen, but perhaps the funniest one was dressed like the year you started teaching. You know, I really rocked the 1986 and wore your best and hair. That's my favorite day. And so we had a big Cinco de Mayo lunch on May 5th, and Mrs. Gegg and I really cooked up a big meal, and we had a lot of fun. So Student of the Month luncheon was on May 9th, where we honored students from each classroom for living the 7 habits, kids who lived the 7 habits all year long. We successfully completed 3 weeks of MAP testing on May 6th. That was awesome. The kindergarten had their annual celebration on April 28th with their annual rendition of Old MacDonald's Farm. If you happen to ever see that, it's pretty cute. We had preschool parent-teacher conferences on April 20th and 21st. We also had screenings and have 18 of our 20 spots filled at this point, so that's awesome. We still have a couple of spots, but they're filling up. And we also, there's something else about Rose here. Oh, we also had the preschool parent advisory meeting on April 27th where Mrs. Kreitler and Ms. Shank discussed their first year with our MPP opening. It was really a great turnout. We had a lot of community members there, and they gave us some neat information and feedback, and they too had their celebration on May 10th where the children were promoted to kindergarten or to the next level, and they sang and wiggled, and it was a great day. Lots of wiggling. Our kids continue to do the morning announcements, and the preschoolers are going to be the grand finale on the last day singing the ABC song that they sang at graduation. So if you missed it that night, you can hear it on the last day of school. And we are giving out birthday books in addition to our regular ones. We had to ramp it up, 132 summer birthdays. So we've been really giving out birthday books in April and May. The dentist also came to our buildings like Lori's. First Bank visited on April 25th to talk with the first graders about how to save money and set long-term goals, which we thought was an awesome thing for them. We had Buddy Day, and we had a great turnout, and most of the incoming kindergartners came and spent the morning doing the routines and activities they'll do in August to take away the first scary days of school for them. And I do encourage anybody out there in the community, if you don't have your child registered yet, if they're going to be 5 on or before August 1st, to please get them registered soon. On May 5th, we had our music program like Lori did. Mr. Kingery and Mrs. Bowman doing an amazing job with the percussion and the guitars and the vocals. We had donuts for dads and muffins for mom in the kindergarten, and thank you to everyone who volunteered to be a dude or a miss, actually, muffins for misses. It was a fun time for the kindergartners. We had our Right to Learn program at the PAC where kids read their writings. Some are going to be read tomorrow at our summer safety assembly, so we're going to revisit that for the 3rd and 5th graders. We had our last faculty meeting on the 13th, and we're looking forward to our training on May 25th and 26th with Mrs. Usman's staff and faculty, and a big thank you to Mr. Haney. He's letting us use the high school cafeteria because it's spacious and comfortable, and we're going to even have a hot breakfast with his staff catered in by Cozy Kitchen. So thanks, Mr. Haney. We had first grade safety presentations today with Officer Clark, yesterday and today with Officer Clark, Rob Zolkowski, Carl Bone, Jason Hurt, Nurse Kim Grass, Nurse Mary Roth, Scott Marler, and even Smokey Bear on all kinds of safety such as bike water, sun, poison, guns, snakes, and campfires. So it was a pretty big day. PTA box top wheel spin this week tomorrow at the lunches, and an ice cream social staff, party for the staff going on. Mr. Cook is also having an art show. And like Mrs. Zusman, tons of field trips. I don't know, do you want to hear about all of them? We've been everywhere. Bowling, to the Magic House, to Busch Stadium, to a soggy trip to the zoo, to the fairgrounds with Mrs. Hannah Fritz Dunsey, to the 5th grade mixer. Here's a local one that's pretty cool. Artist Sam Conlin opens up her shop to our 3rd graders, and she shows them how to solder and weld her luminaries. And a little side note, our cafeteria donates most of her big cans that she uses. So it's a real win-win. She recycles for us, and we, you know, contribute to her shop, and then she invites the 3rd grade kids in to learn how to solder and weld. So that's a really neat walking trip. Unfortunately, we have walking trips planned all week, and they're getting rained out one by one, which is a shame.
Supposed to be sunny the rest of the week.
Yes, okay, good, that's good news. That's good. Let's see, we shared MRI training dates with Bloomsdale. Our 1st grade team and some other individuals throughout the building visited leadership days at other schools, so we can bring back some great ideas for our Leader in Me journey. We had our RTI meetings all day today and formed our classes for next year. We also had our Title I Parent Advisory meeting today and reviewed all of our Title I work for the year and took suggestions and ideas from parents. We have a big Hats for Hearts Day tomorrow to raise money for the Children's Heart Foundation, and we're also still receiving lots and lots of donations for Mr. and Mrs. Bowman's trip to Haiti. And we're having a Stranger Danger Assembly tomorrow with Officer Clark and Chief Bennett for summer safety. And hopefully field trip Friday if it doesn't rain, but if not, our field day, but if not on Monday. So that's it in a nutshell.
Good evening, everyone. My first 2 pages are going to be good. Last week in April, volleyball and football intramurals, which are 3 weeks in length, began for all our 6th grade students who wanted to participate. Saturday, April 30th, we had our 3rd annual color run, or Run with Color, sponsored by NJHS. Approximately 50 participants braved the drizzle and were doused in color. I think we have a couple people in here who are there. Were you there? Yeah. So that's always fun. The money raised from that goes to the Chad's Coalition. The week of May 2nd through the 6th was Teacher Appreciation Week. We want to thank District Office, Farmers Insurance, Student Council, NJHS, and everyone who helped us celebrate our fantastic teachers. That was a great week. We also finished up map testing that week. Big thank you goes to Amy Meyer and Amy Rowland for helping out with map testing and scheduling, and everybody else involved in planning and executing the 2016 map testing. That's always a huge milestone when we get finished with that. Monday, May 2nd, we had 8th grade conference track at Park Hill Central. Our boys team placed 5th and our girls team placed 4th. They had fantastic seasons. There were personal records being achieved at every track meet, it seemed like. They did a fantastic job. Congratulations to the following students for being elected to Student Council next year: Logan Gegg, Nick Giesler, Jada Grimminger, Abby Heller, Austin Keene, and Ella Reed. Congratulations to the St. Genevieve Middle School SAT officers for the 2016-2017 school year: President Sydney Eisenbeis, Vice President Cheyenne Apt, Secretary Christian Kiefer, and Treasurer Seth Krigbaum. Our Knights of the Square Table Chess Club took a field trip, first annual field trip, to the World Chess Hall of Fame in St. Louis. If you get a chance, check out Mr. Oldham's website. They've got fantastic pictures. That's a wonderful place. And this is an eclectic group of students in the chess club that get to go to the World Chess Hall of Fame. We brought so many kids and had so many girls, which they were really surprised about in that group, that they knocked our meal down to half price. So then all the kids started ordering extras. They were very nice and very accommodating, so we're hoping to make that an annual trip. The next day, on Thursday, May 5th, we had Civil War Day down at the football practice field. I don't know if anybody got to attend. I know Dr. Fleeg was there. There were about 7 or 8 different stations. I attended the one that showed the kids how to play some old games. I attended the rifle station, and then everybody went to the cannon station and stayed for that. Luckily, I got a hold of Officer Clark before we started firing the cannon, and then she contacted local police departments because that was a step that was missed. That's going on the agenda for next year. We're going to be sure and do that ahead of time. So luckily, we got that done. Thanks to Michael McDaniel, Rachel Kine, Julia Fallett, and Red Oldham for putting all that together, and the gentlemen and ladies that came in and did that for us. They said our kids were great, and we're looking forward to having them back. Students that led our fundraiser also on May 5th traveled to the Cardinals game at Busch Stadium. We had 7th grade conference track that evening. Our boys team placed 4th and our girls team placed 3rd. And once again, lots of students went out for track this year, and everybody did a great job. Friday, May 6th, we had our middle school choir performance at Six Flags. That evening, we then had the 8th grade celebration from 3 to 7 here on the St. Genevieve campus, and then from 7 to 9 at the community center. All kinds of activities were planned. We made food for the kids. I think everybody had a good time. I was happy it got over at 9. We also distributed St. Genevieve Middle School yearbooks, which you now have a copy of. That's compliments of Mrs. Cherry and our publications kiddos. Okay, pages 3 and 4 didn't really print, so I'm going to go on memory here. The week of the 9th, and Ms. Giesler, feel free to chime in.
Okay.
The week of the 9th through the 13th, we celebrated our WINGS kiddos, students who met the WINGS criteria all 4 quarters. Got to go to the old middle school gym and have a celebration for reaching that goal. Our 7th grade advanced math kids took a field trip to Six Flags, which was STEM oriented. I think there's like math problems and science problems before that they have to solve before they get on rides. So it's educationally themed, and they had a great time that day. Special Olympics traveled to Farmington, I believe on Friday, Friday.
Yeah.
Our challenge kiddos with Miss Cleghorn went to Grants Farm on Thursday. And no?
They ended up going to the movies.
They went to the movies in Kate. That got changed late, you're right. NJHS and Stuco traveled to the zoo. We had our retirement and recognition banquet, which Miss Julia Fowler was our educator of the year. I want to thank everybody who was involved with that. That's always a very nice evening. So thank you for that. Anything else I'm missing the 9th through the 13th that you can think of? Anything yesterday? Okay, today we had awards assemblies for our 6th, 7th, and 8th grade kiddos, both academic and sports-oriented, club-oriented. We have those in the gym up there, and kids are really appreciative of getting those awards. They're happy about that. And then this afternoon, I forgot to mention, thank you to the hospital last week for doing physicals in the gym for all our kiddos on Wednesday and Thursday. That is a huge help. We have so many kids going down there to get physicals, so I want to thank the hospital, and they're partnering up with us and having that here. And then this afternoon, Mrs. Otto and Mr. Otto, after their last play of the year, got together and had the bright idea of having a faculty and staff play for the kids, getting all of us up on stage, and it was titled 8 Reasons to Take a Mental Health Day.
Stay home sick.
To stay home, 8 Reasons to Stay Home Sick Day. It's getting to the end of the year. And then there was a free-for-all afterwards that, not to be mentioned, was that what they called it? A day not to be mentioned, and then I got to participate a little bit. So that was fun. I think the kids had fun. I was in the audience most of the time with them, and I think they really enjoyed it. So that's middle school. Thanks.
Thank you.
For high school comments, I'd like to defer to 3 young ladies that Mr. Haney has invited, Ms. Abby, Ms. Gina, and Ms. Natalie.
All right, we're going to extend congratulations to Nicole F. Church and Austin Brewer for being selected to receive the Missouri State High School Activities Association Award of Excellence for exemplary display of sportsmanship, ethics, and integrity. We would also like to say congratulations to the 2016-2017 Officers for Girls Taking Action. The president is Caitlin Perry, vice president is Kira Langley, secretary is Jakara Smith, historian is Haley Ford, social media and treasurer is Abby Engelman. And then another congratulations to Trevor and Jacob Tomier for qualifying for the sectional tournament. Special congratulations to Trevor Jury for placing 9th at the district tournament.
Also, congrats to Trevor Jury for his 4th place finish at the sectional golf tournament and for qualifying for the state State Championship Golf Tournament. Mrs. Jokers, Dr. Boyd, and Mr. Schweiss's advisories made the finals for the Mentor Games. Special congratulations to Mrs. Jokers' advisory for winning the Mentor Games. And a huge thank you to Mrs. Rowland and Mrs. Staffen for all their hard work with the Mentor Games throughout the year. Congratulations to Brooke Weiler, Clayton Hook, Sarah Moore, and Sam Stolzer, who received a full scholarship to attend the Leadership in Practice seminar this summer.
Another congratulations to the SAT officers for the 2016-2017 school year: President Madison Rainey, Vice President Darren Brown, Secretary Ashley Kreider, Treasurer Kira Langley, and Historian Haley Ford. Boys track athletes, Class 4 District 1 individual medalists and sectional qualifiers: Dave Grimminger and Ben Egger, who set a new school record time of 9 minutes and 28 seconds in the 2 mile. Girls track athletes, Class 4 District 1 team champions, individual medalists and sectional qualifiers: Mallory Kohler, Maya German, Sarah Moore, Taylor Werner, Madison Reynolds, Natalie Engel, Drew Lawmandier, Avery Reed, Madeline Upsetter, and Ashley Leox.
All right, and then something else we wanted to talk to you guys about. So as you may or may not have heard, we did this thing called the lip dub at our school 2 Fridays ago? Yeah. And we filmed and shot everything in one day, about one day.
Yeah.
We had a little bit of a tidbit last Thursday too. But we filmed it and then I edited it last week and it's been done. And a lip dub is basically you run around and sing in the hallways and someone films you. So yeah, we have a 20-second little thing to show you guys if you want to look up there.
And this was our senior project this year. We just wanted to show what we do. And
It's going to start, yeah. Yeah, super short. But we just wanted to make this in order to showcase our school and what an awesome time we've had for the past however many years we've been in the school district.
How involved everyone is too, because everyone wanted to be a part of it as soon as they heard about it.
We had 74 singers that each had a little part in something in the video, and the actual video is like 16 minutes long, so we're not going to put you guys through that right now. But Mr. Bowman has it for the graduation ceremony, so he's going to play that a little bit before, and hopefully it's going to be up on YouTube this weekend sometime. So yeah.
it was really cool to see everyone in our high school get involved in it. It was a really crazy day for us three, and it was a lot of fun too.
I also want to say even the people that aren't usually outgoing, they were really into it, and they did really good actually.
We had a lot of surprising kids that we wouldn't have thought would have stepped up to it, and everyone had fun that
I'm
day.
really happy with the outcome.
Yes.
And we want to say thank you to everyone who helped, because
We know it took a
especially
lot.
Annie. Yeah. So thank you.
Thank you.
And finally, to Dr. Mercer for his successful defense in his dissertation, and he officially graduated from Mizzou this past Sunday. Now Dr. Mercer will talk a little bit about graduation.
Not necessary. Before I go into graduation, I want to just, give a hats off to these young ladies. To see it is one thing, but to experience the day is something totally different. And I would say experiencing the 3 or 4 weeks that lead up to that is a whole other story completely. When these ladies decided they wanted to take this on, Mr. Haney was very adamant that it's their project. They did the planning. And when I say that, I'm talking about deciding who was going to be in which part of the hallway at what time of day singing which song. Very, very detailed, very precise, and you can imagine trying to synchronize that many singers with that many songs in a video that makes sense. It had to be like clockwork. So it's a huge accomplishment. I'm one of the lucky people that has already got to see almost a final cut. It wasn't quite final, but almost a final cut. And I can tell you, it's absolutely amazing. So hats off, ladies. It was very well done. On to graduation. As you all know, graduation is this Saturday. We will begin at 8 o'clock. Doors will open at 6:45. We do, again, plan to use the PAC for overflow seating, or as we like to call it, for comfort seating. For some people, that's the best place to be. It's cooler, there's a little elbow room, they can watch the live stream, and we do always bring the graduates through there, so everyone has an opportunity to see their graduates live, whether they're in the PAC or in the gym. So that will be available again. Thursday of this week, we will have the senior barbecue. Friday of this week, we will be busy with graduation practice, and at that practice, we will remind the seniors that we expect them to arrive by 7:15 the night of graduation. And by this point, they have all received their 2 reserved tickets for the gym floor. But again, the side seats are not so bad either, especially depending on where the graduates are seated once they come in the procession. So that would be something that they'll get a better handle on Friday when we have them walk through and they know their seats, and then they'll talk to their families. But they do all have 2 reserved seats, and then the side seating is available also. Not a lot of changes for this year. I do want to remind the board members of a few things after the meeting. I'll come up and bend your ear for just a second, but there aren't very many great changes. However, while we're still public, I do want to thank the board for their continued support, not only throughout the year, but in taking the time out to celebrate graduation with our students. It means a lot to those guys. So I'll get with you again in a little bit. I want to defer the rest of my time to one of our great friends of education, Mr. Tyson Schaffner. Welcome, sir.
Hello, everyone. I'm here tonight representing the Patched Overalls experience. I think most of you either know who I am or have heard of what we're doing, but in short, I was going to give you what our mission statement is, which we just figured out. We're still learning this whole process. This is obviously very new yet, but what our goal is, our program's goal, is we want to provide direction to students who are discovering their passions and acquiring life skills by promoting the pursuit and benefits of experiential learning. That's our mission right there. First off, thank you to all of you for allowing us to try this program out here. It's definitely a learning experience for me as well. So thank you for everyone who's involved. Mrs. Staffen is like my right hand right now, and she's not here, but I want to give a big shout out for Mrs. Staffen. All the faculty and staff, everybody here has been amazingly supportive. I know Dr. Lindsay took part in one time, and Mrs. Denzi was helping us out a lot, so thank you everybody. Of course, the students have been amazing. We have some of the students in here today from last year. And I have to say, like, the students who've come through they're thinking big. They're really going for it. So it's really amazing for us to see how much these students are really, they're going big, and it's really hard to explain unless you can actually hear them, but it's fantastic. Tonight, really, I just wanted to come and say thank you for everything you guys have been doing for us. Also, I wanted to throw this out. We have some ideas that we're working on right now. We really want to grow this program. We want to continue to offer the scholarship, the Patched Overall Scholarship, every year to a junior. But we're also trying to get some ideas together about bringing more events and resources to the school for the students, potentially like speakers or all sorts of other things. So we're hoping to have your continued support in doing so. And in so doing these things, we're going to hopefully promoting Patched Overalls a lot more outside of our zip code and possibly outside of the state. So we're hoping for your support and allowing us to talk about our partnership with Patched Overalls and St. Genevieve High School to continue. You know, if I end up on the Ellen show, I hope you guys are okay that I'm talking about Patched Overalls and St. Genevieve High School. Like, that's how big we're wanting to aim, and we really want to grow this as big as possible. So thank you, and like I said, I hope we can have some continued support. If you have any questions at all, any issues or comments or concerns about Patched Overalls or anything, my contact information is on our website, patchedoveralls.com. Some of you might have my number. Just give me a call. Anything that we can do to help or to alleviate any issues, just let us know. But we want to make this big, and we want to do it and start here. This is the flagship store, so we want to keep it going if we can. So that's it. Thank you guys very much.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's so exciting. And before we go on any further, I'd just like to thank Abby and her staff, because last year we were at Nanterre for our school board conference, and we got to see your video on. So you made us very proud down there. And you know what? Don't ever feel that 16 minutes, if we have to, we'll come 16 minutes early to see that. We'd love to see it. So anyway, you guys are amazing with those, and you do a great job, and I know you'll continue to do that. And one other thing before, I know we have safety before, but I don't wanna forget, we'd like to thank, as a Board of Education, we'd like to thank all the teachers and administration. You know, we're the board, but without you guys, we're nothing, and you're just it's just amazing to go anywhere and hear all the good things about our school district. So I want to thank you all.
I keep saying we have the best faculty staff
We
in the
do.
state.
We do.
And I think the three young ladies that we have here tonight also show that we have some of the best students in the state as well. I
I'm
think
very proud.
sometimes at district office, you're somewhat removed from students, so it's good to see them come and the things that they're doing, you know, it's so exciting, and I think it helps, in me anyway, remain focused on why we're all here,
Right.
and that's for students.
And it's for our
So,
kids.
Again, thank you, ladies, appreciate it. Safety reports are in the board packet. I don't have any other comments there.
We'll move to unfinished business, and there is none.
Correct.
Okay, we'll move to new business. As everyone knows, Mr. Crowther, a board member, has had to resign.
Yeah, most of you know, I think, that Mr. Crowther got the bug to go back to work. And, you know, he had retired from here as high school principal a few years ago, and he was called back into action. He's the high school principal at Eureka High School in Eureka, part of the Rockwood School District. And while he continued to live here and work there, I think it was just he saw that he didn't feel like he could put the time and effort that he really wanted and felt like he needed to into remaining as a member of the Board of Education. So he submitted his letter of resignation, and we'll go through a process for appointment until the next board election, which will be next April. So there will be a posting that will be advertised and a process that community members, if they have interest, there's an application process, and so we will begin that process really with as soon as the resignation is accepted.
So we'll take applicants, and then what if there's one applicant? Will they automatically, or what do we?
No, I don't think it works that way. I mean,
Okay.
we do have a policy that kind of walks through the process, and the application is fairly extensive. And of course, the requirements to be a Board of Education member are also pretty extensive. I don't think everyone realizes that there's a whole list of things.
It's not just coming to a meeting.
Exactly. There's quite a bit of responsibility that goes with it. So, you know, we'll accept applications and you know, see what we get, and we'll go from there.
So it's possible we could go outside the applicants too.
I think that if someone was interested, they would need to complete the application.
Besides,
Yes.
yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Move to accept the resignation of Charles E. Carruthers Sr. as a member of the Board of Education and approve the posting of the open position.
Second.
We have a motion and a second, all in favor by saying aye. Opposed, motion carries. And next is our A+ partnership plan.
There's a copy of the plan in your board packet. Dr. Mercer is A+ coordinator. We have some things.
Just very briefly, I can tell you that the changes this year were largely cosmetic. We went through and updated the members of the A+ advisory committee, which were shuffled up a little bit this year just to keep the committee fresh, keep bringing in new ideas. I also want to compliment Mrs. Holst, who's done an excellent job in absorbing a lot of Mrs. Rapp's responsibilities. You all know we can't replace Mrs. Rapp, but Mrs. Holst picked up the baton and kept moving forward, and we've had a very good year in that respect. And I think you'll also be proud to know that Saturday evening, I'm expecting about 55 of your graduates to cross the stage wearing the green and white cords that signify that they have earned their A+ designation. We're very proud of that.
I move to approve the A+ partnership plan as presented.
Second.
There's a motion and a second, all in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Next is our mission statement and motto.
Yes, for the past 2 years, on all of our evaluations, I've put to work on the mission statement to review it, to see if it needs updated. This year I was fortunate enough because Mrs. Nanya Geck and Mrs. Beth Giesler were taking a class, and this got put on as part of something they had to do for their class. So I'm going to turn it over to them to talk through the process that they led, and we went through to bring you a new mission and a motto for the district tonight.
So as Dr. Fleet said, this was a process that took probably about 6 months that we've gone through, and Mrs. Giesler and I put together a brief presentation to share with you. The next slide. We began the process by looking at our current mission statement, which you can see is rather lengthy. It says, in partnership with our community, the mission of the St. Genevieve County R2 School District is to assure that every student will acquire the skills and knowledge for successful participation in our ever-changing democratic society and will develop respect for self and others. With the help of Dr. Fligg, she had prepared a survey that she was already intending to send out to the staff. And one of her questions asked the staff how many could recite our mission statement. And when surveyed, 98% of our staff could not recite the mission statement. And in some of the staff comments, they felt that it was too wordy and too long. But they also did feel that it was a good representation of our district, but thought it should be more concise and it needed revision. And another question as part of Dr. Fligg's survey asked, what does the St. Gen R2 mission statement mean to you? And we thought this was a very interesting fact that 78 out of 124 responses that we received felt that the current mission statement meant that we work together to help students become successful, respectful citizens beyond St. Genevieve. So at that point, we put together a district committee and we began looking at the survey results and what we wanted to do with those survey results and how we should move forward. And when the committee met, we used this information to come up with the proposed mission statement. And in the first meeting, we actually worked together using the staff feedback from the surveys, and we actually created 2 different mission statements. The first one being working together to create success in St. Genevieve and beyond. And the second one was every student will learn and acquire the skills necessary to become respectful citizens. A second short survey was sent out to the staff, and 65% of our staff at the time chose option number 1, but they suggested a few minor changes. And so making the suggested changes, the proposed mission statement became working together to create success at St. Genevieve R2 and beyond. At the same meeting, it so happened that our committee was also wondering if we were searching for a district-wide motto that would sort of unify all 4 buildings. I believe 3 of our 4 buildings currently have building-wide mottos, but we didn't know if we needed a district-wide motto. And so we were just toying around with something, and an acronym sort of developed, and it was the DRAGONS acronym that was dedicated, respectful, authentic, goal-oriented, open-minded, noteworthy school family. And so as part of the survey with the mission statement, we also surveyed the staff as far as the motto. And many of the staff voted that they did like our motto. However, we did receive some feedback that said a motto was meant to be quick and memorable, that a motto needed to be a catchy statement. And so through some of the feedback, although the majority of our staff did like the motto, we realized that that was the only motto that we had proposed to them. So we didn't know if there needed to be another option. So we developed another option, And so we kept the acrostic, but we also, through the help of one of our district committee members, she had toyed around with some different options, and the second option that she proposed was the dragons: family, tradition, and excellence. And those words were just not randomly picked. Those were words that also came up in the survey as what St. John R2 meant to us, and as a staff, those were words that came up over and over in the comments. We also wanted to get some student input, and so I surveyed the 5th graders at St. Genevieve Elementary, and Mrs. Huffman, the guidance counselor at Bloomsdale Elementary, surveyed the 5th graders. And combined, we surveyed 114 5th graders, and 58 of them liked the first option, and 56 liked the second option. So our elementary was very split. Mrs. Giesler, I believe you surveyed the middle school Stuco, and she surveyed 39 students, and 9 of them liked option 1 and 30 liked option 2. And then Mrs. Reed, the high school Stuco sponsor, surveyed her high school students, and of the 32 students surveyed, 7 liked option 1 and 25 liked option 2. And then we sent out another very brief it was really a 1-question survey for the staff to pick the motto that you liked best. And we got 143 responses, which was very good. And 23 liked option 1, and overwhelmingly 103 liked option 2. So combined with the student and staff input, we felt that option 2 was a very good, strong showing for that one. So the next step was to put together a larger stakeholder committee. We involved community members. We brought in parents from each building, as well as some of our committee members that were part of the original committee. And we reviewed the proposals, and we had discussion, and a motion was made by Dr. Mercer to approve the proposed mission and motto. And Linda Bosler, a parent representative, seconded the motion. And at the time, a vote was taken, 14 present, and we had 1 write-in. Clint Wolk was one of our community members that sent us feedback via email. He was not able to attend the meeting, but he was in favor of both, and 0 were opposed. So that brings us to the point that we want to bring these 2 things to you guys for board approval. Do you want to put it on the screen so they can see them?
Yeah.
So we are proposing that our new mission statement be working together to create success at St. Genevieve R2 and beyond, and our motto, a district motto, being dragons, family, tradition, excellence. And if you have any questions, we'll do the best we can to answer them. And Dr. Mercer and Dr. Fleeg were also part of that committee, so they're able to field questions as well.
What was our old one?
What?
What were our old ones?
The old one was the very first slide. It was that really,
And partnership. I can go back.
Do you want to
want me
see
go
it?
back to
No, it's not my fault, not paying attention.
and we did not have a current district motto. We only had building mottos. We had the St. Genevieve Elementary Learn motto. Beth, what's your middle school one?
Our
What's
kids
that?
are worth whatever it takes.
And then the high school, I don't know if it's an actual motto or a dubbed motto. It's great day to be a dragon. It's what you guys use a lot. And so, and Mrs. Usman, you didn't have a current one. So we felt that, the committee felt that we needed a unifying motto to bring the district together. And so this is where we're at.
Beth, can you go back to that first slide?
Mhm.
That will show what the existing.
Yeah.
It's pretty word.
Like a paragraph.
This is our current mission statement right now.
No, I didn't know that.
I do think that the process has been very thorough, that they've gone through, they've got input from not only faculty, staff, but also students and community members, and I know it's been quite a long process, and I think the end result is something that is short, sweet, to the point.
And you can.
Yeah.
You don't remember?
Well, I think they messed up.
Well, and I want Mr. Mercer to answer this, but we were asked yesterday in the meeting, why doesn't it talk about education and why doesn't it talk about students? And he had a great response, so I'm gonna go to him and let it.
That question was brought up, why was it not a student-centered statement? And I think the best answer to that is because we do more than serve our students here. We're also responsible for serving our community and promoting success among our colleagues and promoting success for the people above us and the people below us. And I think the example I used yesterday was I want Mr. Boba to have success as a board member. I want the community access television to have success in the community. I want our banks to be successful. We want our students to be successful. I want Dr. Fleet to be successful. It's about all of us working together to make sure that we're all successful in the things that we do, both within the school and around the school in our community.
Absolutely.
And I think we were also looking at the whole student, not just necessarily the academic part of the student. It was
Sure.
just students achieve success in so many different ways.
I'll move to approve the proposed mission statement and motto as presented.
I have a motion and a second to accept. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you
Thank
guys
you.
so much, thank you.
Done a great job.
And I want to add, they did an amazing job.
Mhm.
Dr. Lindsay said they were very thorough, they included everyone, and are extremely organized, so I can't wait to work on another project.
It was exciting that you thought of the younger ones too. Okay, Mr. McDaniel?
Okay. I move that the Board of Education hold a closed meeting with a closed record, a closed vote following the regular open meeting on June 21st, 2016, to be held in the R.W. Thomas Library at 715 Washington Street, St. Genevieve, Missouri, for the purpose of discussing and voting upon the following items of business: legal action, causes of action, or litigation; lease, purchase, and sale of real estate; hiring, firing, disciplining, or promoting particular employees; proceedings involving the mental and/or physical health of an identifiable individual; scholastic probation, expulsion, or graduation of identifiable individuals; testing and examination materials; welfare cases of identifiable individuals; preparation for negotiation with employee groups; software codes for electronic data processing and documentation thereof; specification for competitive bidding until approved or published; sealed bids and related documents until the bids are open; sealed proposals and related documents until all proposals are rejected, or any documents related to a negotiated contract or the contract is executed; individually identifiable personnel records; performance ratings and records pertaining to employees or applicants for employment; records protected from disclosure by law; scientific and technological innovation in which the owner has a proprietary interest; records relating to municipal hotlines established for reporting of abuse and wrongdoing; confidential privileged communication with an auditor; operational guidelines, policies, and specific response plans for preventing or responding to a critical incident; existing or proposed security systems and structural plans of district property; a portion of a record that identifies security systems or access codes; records identified when allow unauthorized access to or unlawful disruption of the configuration of components or the operation of a computer, computer system, computer network, or telecommunications network; credit card numbers, personal identification numbers, digital certificates, physical and virtual keys, access codes or authorization codes that are used to protect electronic transactions. I further move that notice of this meeting and its tentative agenda be posted as required by law. Motion and a second, roll call, Eric Baldwin.
Yes.
David Wolfen.
Yes.
John Dundee.
Yes.
Randy Daniel. Yes. I'm waiting for a response. Don't be. Somebody wake Terry up. Martha Reese Singer.
Yeah.
Okay. Rick Rudolph.
Yes.
All right. Motion carried 6-0.
Move to go to closed session with a closed record and a closed vote
Second.
after a short break.
So the motion and a second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.